and welcome back to CRC The Conversation. I'm Dr. Debbie Lassiter, the Executive Director and co-founder of the Convergence Resource Center, and I'm here with my colleague.
And I'm Carla McKeever, also co-founder and CFO for Convergence Resource Center.
Well, Carla, you want to tell them what we're talking about today?
Well, today we're going to be talking about one of our services that we give, which is called Heartmath. And we'll explain it later on in this conversation. And also human trafficking and mental health.
Oh, that's a big one, huh?
They're all big, but
Ooh,
yes, it's big.
yes. So anything, before we jump in, anything caught your eye or caught your ear recently?
The only, what keeps coming to me is when I'm flying and when I come through the clouds. And sometimes when you go through the clouds, there's a little turbulence, but when you get to the other side, it's all smooth.
Yeah.
And then when you're getting ready to go for a landing, sometimes there's a little turbulence if it's cloudy out there. But I equate it to, even when I'm flying, I think about, problems that I might have. Because all of us have something sometimes, right?
Yes.
It's like, oh, it's a little bumpy right now, but I'm gonna come through it. And then it's gonna be okay.
That's good. That's really good. It's really good. I'm gonna hold on to that for a little while.
Okay.
That's really good. That we got to go through the clouds and get to the good side. And now that you're saying that, I think about that. When I'm flying, that does happen. But I'm always amazed. And when you're coming through the clouds, that you're actually coming through the clouds. It's like you look up and you see the clouds up in the air, and people tell you all about the clouds. But when you're over the clouds, it's kind of, my mind is still kind of like, I'm over the clouds. And you're peeking through the clouds and looking down, and sometimes you can see things down there, but it's like, I am in the clouds. And then even after you land, you look back up and you go, I was up there. It's just amazing to me that something as heavy as an airplane can do that. But, we don't need to get into science or anything, but because those things are really heavy, but they fly. So it's like, planes are very heavy. So.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Okay.
Let's move on before.
Let's move on before.
So our service we want to talk about today is Heartmath, and this is one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites is Heartmath. So it's actually science-based technology that helps you recover from trauma using your own body.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes, and breathing techniques, and sometimes there's been a couple times where when I've gone to the doctor and I feel a little anxious about what's going on, I do my breathing to get myself leveled back out again, because in my own mind I'm not able to do it, but with the techniques that we get from Heartmath, that truly helps me.
I use them to in some of the where they tell you about the energy leaks, the things that pull your energy out. I go through that inventory from time to time. But with our Heartmath sessions, they get like 3 sessions, and you have to be trained to be a Heartmath coach or a facilitator. And then they actually, after they finish that, they get a monitor. If they complete all 3 sessions, they get a monitor, and they are really surprised because now they have those monitors. Well, they'll work with your phone. Everything works with your phone, right? But they'll work with your phone now, because at first you needed a computer.
Right.
But now they've created them where they'll work with your phone. And I have such a fond memory of Heartmath with this young lady that we had taken through Heartmath. And she looked at me and she said, for the first time in my life, I know what it really feels like to be happy.
Wow. The first time.
And she was an adult. Wow. But Heartmath put her in touch enough with herself that she could actually know what that felt like. And she was like 30-something. I mean, it wasn't like a kid, And you think all her life, she had gone through her whole life and never really had that feeling until now. What a gift. Heartmath is amazing. And Jeff Golitz from Heartmath Institute usually will work with any organization to help them get set up. because I don't want to fool you folks. This is not going to cost you 5 cents. It costs a little bit of money, but it's worth it. And every profession just about has gone through Heartmath. In London, the police forces went through it, and they shot less, and they were able to de-escalate situations easier. So it's a good thing. Anything else you want to say about that?
One thing I'm going to say, because you had said it might cost, but if you were to receive that here, it costs you nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
It costs you nothing to, we'll take you through it and help you understand it. And we'll also help you learn how to use the monitor, how to regulate yourself. Because sometimes, just like I said, when I went to the doctor, a few things, sometimes I just have to sit there and just breathe in and relax myself, level myself off, being coherent. So that I can,
words, aren't you?
Right, coherent to be able to, whatever it is they're asking me to do. Or, sometimes you have to take x-rays, or you have to go in that machine and they're doing those x-rays. Sometimes that can be stressful. So that's just the doctor's office. But then there have been people that I know that have taken it and they've used it to de-escalate an issue or something that's going on. Where before they would have jumped at it and been right down with the fight or whatever that might be. But because of practicing the Heartmath techniques, it helped them de-escalate, which helped them de-escalate the issue of what was going on.
Yeah, it really improves really enhances coping skills, as well as if you're preparing for something, like you preparing at the doctor's office, but preparing to do a speech, or just for some people, it's hard to just get out of bed. And they could do that Heartmath right there while they're laying in the bed, and then get up and be able to go on with their day. But Heartmath really addresses one of the subjects we want to talk about today, which is mental health. And when we think about human trafficking and mental health, they have estimated that 98% of trafficking victims exhibit symptoms of at least one mental health disorder. That's 98%. And I would venture to say it's 100%, but they say 98%.
98%.
98%. And so there are different types of disorders and different types of mental health. So today we want to just talk about some of the trauma-related disorders. Probably 3 of them in particular, because in my mind, these 3 kind of cover the scope of them, but they all one fall under the other. So post-traumatic stress disorder, we hear about that a lot, right? People that have been in the Army, police, people who are first responders, but they say 75 to 78% of female survivors of human trafficking. And I think that they say female because they don't know about the male, because they haven't had a lot of research done on that, because they don't come forward. But 75 to 78% of them experience symptoms like flashbacks, nightmares, hypervigilance, emotional numbness. They're experiencing all of this as a result of having been trafficked. And that's the PTSD. Go ahead.
That is the PTSD. And this can actually go on way long after they've come out of it. And it also interferes with their relationships.
Yes, it does.
So the relationships such as trust issues, intimacy issues, all these things play into effect, so that you don't even know how to have a real relationship, even with friends.
Yes.
And it's not just, I'm not just talking about intimate relationships, but even just one-on-one regular relationships. This can actually affect long-term. It's not even short-term. So you really have to address it in order to get to the other side of it. You have to learn how to trust again. You have to learn how to know that everyone is not trying to get something from you.
And can you imagine being in the workforce? Having this, afraid to tell anyone you have it, it can be very difficult. But outside of the PTSD, there is complex PTSD, right? So this is just a prolonged, inescapable trauma. And it shows up, like you were talking about, in emotions, in a shattered sense of self-worth, and also severe disruption in interpersonal relationships. All the things that you're talking about are part of that complex PTSD. So that's the PTSD. And then on top of that, you've got these complexities, if you will, that come with it. And I just can't even imagine trying to function in the rat race we live in with all that going on.
Yeah, all the social issues.
Yes.
It's really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And like I say, if you're not getting help to address it, it's hard. You say, well, why can't you keep a job?
See?
Right? Why can't you keep a job? Everybody else can keep a job. And then the other part of that is like, well, it's been long enough that you should be over it by now. It's like, right?
And we hear that. And you know what? I almost cringe when I hear somebody say that you should be over that by now. You don't know what it's going to take for somebody to get over something, because each of us feel and experience things differently.
Correct.
And I really wish we'd stop saying that to people, you know, because, you know, people tell folks all the time, well, girl, that was 15 years ago. You should be over it by now. You don't know what they've lived through. And all of the other, what do you think they're putting in there? 2 factors, contributing factors. What happened to them when they were a child? What relationships happened when they were growing up? How were they treated by their family or relatives? How did their friends treat them? I can still think now back to things that happened to me when I was a child, in just friend things, where one friend picked another friend over me and left me by the side, and how dejected I felt. I can still visualize those things and can still, to a point, experience them for like a second now. But in other areas of life and at other times in my life, it took a lot for me to try to be friends with somebody new when that had happened before.
Right.
And so you can't say get over that to people, but we say that all the time.
We say it.
Now, this last one is one that I particularly think we miss. People are misdiagnosed or it's not diagnosed at all. And that is dissociative identity disorder. Dissociative disorders go all the way from daydreaming to actual altered personalities. We have people who don't believe it. I can remember being in a room with some people and they said, well, that doesn't exist. It's not real. And then at the same time, later on that day, being in a room with a young lady who had 31 different alters or personalities, because since the age of 3, her parents sold her to people with torture chambers. And she created what they say is that as a child, if you are in a situation where you can't escape physically, so you escape mentally by creating another personality to take the pain.
Wow. It's like the brain is a miracle worker.
Yes, it is.
It's if it's not liking what is happening, this is when it happens, right? So all these different personalities, or like you say, it takes you out of that situation and you don't see yourself there anymore. So these different identities come.
That's right.
Right? Then how do you deal with that?
Well, you know, it takes a long time, and there are different forms and ways of dealing with it. Dr. Michelle Cohen from Bread of Healing is one of the people that taught me a lot about this. Dr. Thelma Newby, who's retired now, taught me a lot about it so that I could learn how to help our clients and make sure that we got the training that we need to be able to help them. Because imagine this, you experience something and you're asked to testify about it. But in order to deal with it, you have dissociated and you have another personality. And you get you on the stand and they ask you all these questions and you answer the questions. But then they start calling you a liar because you're giving them different answers than you gave them before. Well, what if you disassociated and they're not even talking to the same alter that they were talking to before? They both have a different memory. You have to be trained. And thank goodness we've received that training. And this is not, anybody can just walk a person out of that. the first time that I had experience with it, it took 20 minutes to walk the person out of it, to get back to the main person. And Dr. Newby walked me through that process. I will say that had I not experienced it, it probably would have been difficult for me to believe it. But since I have on more than one occasion, I know that it's real. And I know that we need to make sure that when we're working with people with mental health disorders, we keep that in mind. One of the places that we refer people that has worked with a lot of our clients is Forward Choices. Forward Choices LLC, their phone number is 414-442-1751. That's 414-442-1751. And they have experience dealing with human trafficking survivors, but they also have experience dealing with a lot of these other things. And I would highly suggest them as a person that could help someone. Do you want to add anything to any of that, Carla?
No, I think everything that you've spoken about is really good. And the DID, with it being such a hard to diagnose, you really would have to know what you're doing. And you would have to know how to address it with that particular individual. But I know there's a lot of times we wonder why people act the way that they act. And that's exactly what it is, because of all the trauma that they've experienced. Because it always goes back to the trauma, right? That's the first part of it. So I'm glad that there is a place, Forward Choices, that can help someone. And we have somewhere to send you.
Yes, absolutely. And Bread of Healing would be another place as well. That's where Dr. Cohen is. She doesn't necessarily see clients now, but she trains the people that would see the clients. How can they keep in contact with us, Carla?
Well, you can actually send us an email at CRC, contact us at convergenceresource.org. And you can also keep in touch with us by visiting our YouTube page, which is Convergence Resource. I think it's Convergence Resource Center on the YouTube page. I have to look again.
I always go to it through the mail, so I'm not sure.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's just research, but it could be.
And also, subscribe to our newsletter. Go to our website and subscribe to our newsletter.
Yes.
You will not only get these videos, but you'll also get lots of information. So to subscribe to our newsletter, just go to www.convergenceresource.org. And then I think it goes down to, if you go down to the bottom of the first page, it'll say subscribe to the newsletter. So we just encourage you to go over there and subscribe. But not only subscribe to our newsletter, but also subscribe to us and also like us. So it's just like and subscribe.
Like it. And one thing I want to say about our newsletter too is we don't bombard you with email messages and that. The newsletter comes out once a month. And so please, it'd be great to see you guys on there and also hear from you with some suggested topics. Well, this is one thing I want you guys to remember. No matter what's going on in life, you are worth the fight. So if you don't think you're worth the fight, you won't fight, right? You are worth the fight. So fight hard, because we only get one of you. There's no do-over. There's just one of you, right? You're worth the fight. Fight hard, because we only get one of you. Well, folks, thanks for joining us again. And we'll see you next time for a little conversation.
The Convergence Resource Center provides support services for women rebuilding their lives after trauma, with an emphasis on survivors of human trafficking and justice-involved women. We envision individuals who are empowered to make healthy choices that lead to productive, positive lifestyles within their homes and communities. The Convergence Resource Center sincerely thanks everyone for their generous donations. Your compassion makes it possible for us to support women on their healing journeys, rebuild families, and strengthen communities. For more information about the Convergence Resource Center and how you can get involved, visit us online at www.convergenceresource.org.